What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I spent a minute on this one, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, most of my sit down videos are off the dome or just a loose outline that I'm reading. For this one, man, I did a whole MLA format 1,000-word essay. I don't know what the requirements are anymore. I did not finish college. But yeah, basically this video is gonna be how to avoid getting scammed when you're buying / selling sneakers. Probably one of the most common things I get asked. That and alongside, how do you make sure your shoes are real? How do you know you're getting a good deal? Blah, 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 blah. I've gone through that too. You can go back and check them out for yourself. But yeah, basically, get ready. I actually have no idea how long this video is going to be. Might be 15 minutes, might be 20, might be 45. I have no idea, but sit down and get ready to be stuffed with knowledge. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to go through how to stay safe when you're buying first. Then we're going to move on over to how to stay safe when you're selling your stuff. So you want to cop a couple pairs. Maybe for the personal collection, maybe because you want to resell, or maybe you just want to get someone a gift and you don't want to spend that StockX and GOAT price. You run the risk when you want to get a good deal on a shoe of getting scammed. The more you pay for the shoe, usually from like these websites like StockX and GOAT, you're paying for the peace of mind knowing that your shoe is going to be real and you don't have to worry about anything else. Then you have platforms like eBay. They're a little bit more direct to consumer, like not too much middleman work, but I mean, as of late, they have been. They just added their authenticity guarantee and all that kind of stuff. So again, you're gonna be paying a little bit of a premium for that. But the places you're really gonna be finding the deals and stuff like that, and of course it runs the biggest risk, is places like OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, websites like Mercari, POSHMARK, and then Instagram. I'll try to touch on all those places just to kind of go through the pros and cons of them, and then what to watch out for, what to look for, and all that kind of stuff. So let's start off with Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp, or whatever the name of your local meetup thing is. I don't know what it's called in your country or whatever, but for here in the US, it's mainly OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. There used to be another one called Let Go, but I think OfferUp bought them out, so it's just those two that I'm aware of. So yeah, these are where you're gonna be finding the biggest steals, but also you can have a gun pulled on you. So let's talk about a few things you need to watch out for. If you set up your cards right, you could be getting some major steals, but just know that 30 to 40% of these shoes on these platforms are usually fake. And a lot of the people, some of them do say they're UA, which means unauthorized authentic, which means basically fake. There's no, like, people try to throw these little spicy words on the shoe and try to make it sound like it's real, like it comes from the same factory, but it's just not authorized. That's not true. They're fake. But there are low quality fakes, high quality fakes, mid quality fakes. So yeah, just keep in mind that anything that says UA, same factory, authorized, not authorized, whatever, it's all fake. So yeah, some of the listings might say that. Other listings might not say anything. They'll say it comes with all the receipts and stuff like that, and the shoe can still be fake. So the first thing is weeding out the bad listings. So anything that just looks a little suspicious, they have no feedback, maybe they don't have like a profile picture, maybe no description. Yeah, just that kind of stuff. I would mainly try to stick towards the people that have a few reviews, maybe like 10 at least, and kind of just look through their profile, see what they're posting. Like, make sure it's not a brand new account with only one shoe on it, because they do take down accounts that post fake stuff. So what they'll do is they'll just remake the account, post up the shoe, and then you could just click on their profile, see they only have one shoe, and you can see when their account was created, and that means they're probably trying to finesse. But if they have a whole category of stuff being sold and their account's been up for a while, I wouldn't say you're good to go, but as far as giving them a chance, you can. After you've decided to shoot them an offer, or maybe even go with their asking price because you like their price, you're gonna want to meet up with them in a safe location. Don't ever meet up at someone's house or meet up at night. It's just not a good combo, because I know a lot of people on OfferUp, they'll be like pickup only. Just honestly give them the extra $5-10 bucks to go meet up at a gas station or a bank, police station, Starbucks, I don't know, somewhere where there's eyes, so that if something goes down, there are a lot of witnesses to see if anything does happen. So just keep that in mind. Before you even meet up with this person, you're gonna wanna brush up on your checking skills on how to check the shoe. If you are an absolute beginner and have absolutely no knowledge of checking shoes whatsoever, I would honestly probably stay away from OfferUp and local meetup places, because it's honestly just not worth the risk. But if you have a somewhat decent knowledge of shoes and you're kind of comfortable with buying shoes, I would say sure, go for it. But before you go to that meetup, watch at least a couple of YouTube videos on how to legit check a shoe. And then I would recommend this app called Check. I am not being endorsed by them whatsoever, but their service has been a little lacking as of late. Used to be able to get a check within 30 minutes for a couple dollars, but now that option's gone away. I don't know what's going on with them, but they have a 12-hour option. So maybe you can communicate to the buyer somehow, maybe get their phone number and ask them to send you the specific pictures, and then you could put it up on Check and see if it passes or not. And if it does, you're good to go. But just be careful. Make sure that the pictures that they send you are tagged pictures. So like, make them write something down on a piece of paper. Sheldon, when you're editing this, put a piece of paper in my hand and just write like walnuts or something on it, just to show an example. So now that I have a piece of paper with walnut on my hand, ask them to send a picture like this of the shoe, just like a picture of the shoe, and just have them write on a piece of paper, just say some random word or their name or something, just so you know that that shoe is not, the pictures are not stolen from someone else's account or something else, that they are the ones taking that picture. And then if they do pass and you think you're all good to go, make sure you give them one look over before you hand them over that money. Because once you hand them over that money, it's done. Like, a lot of people, depending on your moral code, if they do come up fake again or whatever, some issue, a lot of people, no matter how many reviews they're gonna do, they're not gonna give you your money back. It sucks, but that's just the society we live in. So it's really hard to find true and honest people. But yeah, you gotta be 100% certain that those shoes are real. So yeah, if you wanna know more on legit checking and all that kind of stuff, I'm not gonna dive into it too deep in this video. I have a few other videos, and I'm sure there's other people on YouTube that have gone in way deeper than I ever have and ever will. I would definitely recommend doing that. But yeah, just as for the saying safe side, be 100% sure that those shoes are real. Ask them where they got it from. If their story's not adding up, they say, oh yeah, you know, a friend got them from me, he just wants me to sell them for him. That's a red flag. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that before. If they say they got them from like StockX or they got them from like a raffle, ask them to show you the receipt, because everything's digital nowadays. They have an email, they have some way to prove that they bought it from that source. So yeah, just ask where they got it from. Also, when you're going to this meetup, I would invest in a little black light, like this little guy right here. You can see it has like a little UV light, and it shows the outlines of shoes. I don't know if this is the best example. You can kind of see how like the stitching kind of glows a little bit. So yeah, I'll probably just put up a picture on the screen of what it's not supposed to look like, because on some fake shoes, they have like these little stitching outlines. It tells the factories to like cut out the shapes and stuff of shoes. All Nike and Jordan pairs, they take that off. They don't have that on the shoe. It'll be like these little like tracing dots type thing. And also they'll sometimes stamp their shoe with like a little Chinese logo. I honestly don't know what that's for, but a lot of fakes do have it. But don't think just because it doesn't have that they are real, because I've had multiple fakes that don't have any stitching outlines or factory stamps or any type of things on the box. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's a good tool to have. It's just going to help. It's not gonna determine whether your shoes are fake or not. If you want, I'll leave an Amazon link. You guys can go click and buy it, and then I'll probably make like 3 pennies on if you decide to buy it or not. So, but yeah, I think they're like $5-10 bucks. Just depends on which ones you get. So yeah, basically that's all I have to say for OfferUp and local meetup places on the buying side of things. Now I want to kind of touch up on places like Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay. These places you can get good deals. eBay's getting a little tougher nowadays because they're just adding fees back and stuff like that, so it will be harder. But places like POSHMARK and Mercari still have deals for days, honestly. On these platforms, you can kind of take a risk a little bit more because they have buyer protection, and basically what that means, they're not going to check the shoes. That's going to be on you when you get them in hand, but you're going to pay the person, they'll ship your shoes, and honestly, if anything goes wrong, if you don't get them in the mail, they never ship them. If the shoes are fake, if there's damage on the shoes that weren't seen in the pictures, you're good. All you have to do is hit up their customer service and you're good to go, honestly. They'll probably have your money back within a couple days. Sometimes a common scam is the person will ask you to send them feedback before you get the shoes in, just so like they'll say like, it'll help release the payment or something, or like have you mark it as delivered. You, the buyer, have the item marked as delivered before it's arrived. Do not do that until you are 100% sure that the shoe is real, in good condition, and if you have them in hand. Because what this does is it frees up the money that they have holding. So when you send the money, it's like just floating up in the air in like POSHMARK, Mercari, whatever. Then once you, as the buyer, give them like a 5-star review or just mark the item as delivered, that money goes out of holding and goes into the buyer's pocket, and then you are blocked off from any middleman helping you out. That's basically, it's just tough if you did that. So that's why it's extremely important to just wait until you get the shoes in hand, make sure they're real, and if you do have any problems, you can still hit them up. But do not shoot any kind of review until you get the shoes and you know they're real. But yeah, you can take a little bit more risk with these platforms and you can still find really good deals, but just know it might be a little rocky. But eBay is a lot better with that now, since now they have a more structured middleman service that actually goes to them and they check the shoes and all that kind of stuff. But obviously with all these platforms, some might slip through the cracks. Honestly, the chances of you having a miss up like that are extremely low. You wouldn't have to worry about it. Let's move on to one of my favorite and dangerous, Instagram. Instagram, you're probably gonna find the best deals there, and if you find the right people, you'll be the safest. You can find a nice little plug and you guys could build a connection for even years to come. But the hard thing is finding that person, because there are a lot of people that will finesse you on Instagram. If you're trying to find one of these people, try to find someone that is not afraid to show their face. It kind of just helps you as the buyer build a connection and put a face to the person you are buying from. And if anything does go wrong, there's really nowhere they can hide. Their face is public, their name's public. So it kind of just makes you more comfortable as a buyer. But if you're trying to buy off someone that has no face, I don't know, it just comes off as a little suspicious. I know there's legit accounts out there that have no face. They just don't want to show their face for whatever reason. But honestly, more times than not, they'll try to finesse you. Or if anything goes wrong, they'll just ghost you. So another thing I would look for is if people are actually buying their shoes. Another common thing is people getting impersonated. I have been a few times. A lot of the bigger pages get impersonated. They'll just buy an account, fill it up with like 30,000 fake followers, copy all of your posts, your stories, and all that kind of stuff. But what they can't copy is reviews that were posted on your story, like reposted stories. So I'm just gonna do an example here. If you go to my Instagram page and you can go to my feedback, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll just use the first one as an example. You can see like I reposted the story and it's on my feedback highlight on my story. If I click it, it'll take you to a person's account that actually bought the shoes and posted this story. I'm almost 95% certain that if it's a stolen story, you can't tap on the story and go to the person's account. It'll just be like a picture, you can't click on it. So watch out for that. If they do have feedbacks like that, make sure to try to click it and see if it's a real person that actually bought those shoes or if it's just reposted. So yeah, keep that in mind. Just make sure people are actually buying their shoes, because a lot of people, they'll make it look like their customers are always coming through and buying stuff from them, when in reality, they're just stealing people's content and they're gonna finesse you. Another thing, a common thing to have in the sneaker Instagram world is to have a reference post. It'll just be like a little blank screen or say ref post or something. And usually what they'll have is when a customer purchases from them and everything goes smooth, they'll have them say, yo, can you leave me a ref? And just basically say how the deal went. So you'll go to their ref page, comment down below, and you'll say like, blah, 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 shoes came quick, great customer service, blah, 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 blah. I don't do this, and basically it doesn't give me the green light to buy from you. Because I'm sure more times than not, all those references are real. But a lot of times, what people will do is they'll give someone $1, $5, whatever it is, and they'll say, yo, I'll give you $5. Can you just leave a comment and say you bought from me? And they'll take the $5, write the comment, and it looks like someone bought from their page. That's kind of why I don't like it. So you could probably spend $100, fill it up with 20 references or whatever, and you'll be like, oh yeah, you know, this person actually has buyers. Like, I'll send you the money. And then boom, that's where you're wrong. They took your money, and you're like, what happened, man? I thought he had good reviews. I thought people bought from him. No, you thought people bought from him or her. So yeah, basically that's that. That's why I don't do that. Now you know. So yeah, now I have a little 4-piece checklist that we have here that I wrote down. Just little things to look for in a good Instagram page. Their face is public. They have legit customer references. They're not pushy at all to sell to you. A lot of people that want to scam you, they'll be like, oh, you know what, bro? Like, I'll knock off 50. Like, just send the money as soon as you can. If they're pushing you to buy the product, that's a red flag. I never push anyone to buy anything. It's completely up to you. If you want to buy the shoes, buy the shoes. But I'm not going to put a gun to your head. I'm not going to be like, yo, bro, come on, please send the shoes. Like, you're wasting my time. Like, let's get this over with. I will never do that. And then also, if they're super open with any questions about the buying process at all. I know some people are super impatient. They'll be like, oh, you know, bro, like, you're wasting my time. Just send the money. That is not how it should be if you are trying to buy a pair of shoes from someone. They should be extremely open, show you all the process of once that money goes into your account, what's going to happen next, and you're going to get a tracking number, when are those shoes going to go out, how long are they going to take to get to your house. Make sure they are open about that stuff and that they answer your questions. If they don't answer your questions and they seem like they're kind of avoiding it, don't buy from them. Don't do it. Now that we've gone over buying, let's touch on the selling portion of everything. It's a lot easier when you're first starting to sell shoes to get scammed, just because it's a lot easier to make stupid mistakes. So when you're selling on platforms like StockX and Goat, there's honestly not much to worry about whatsoever. I would honestly just probably recommend getting a receipt when you drop off your packages at UPS, just in case something does go wrong and your shipment gets lost. I believe those companies will reimburse you for that shoe. So you're good on that. Another thing, extremely important, I did not do this when I was first buying shoes or when I was first selling my shoes. Document putting your shoes inside the box, because a common thing is when you ship a person a shoe on whatever platform it is. It could be Mercari, POSHMARK, eBay. Actually, not so much eBay anymore because they have the authenticity guarantee. Places that don't have authenticity guarantees and that are just directly from you to the buyer. No middleman. A common thing, I actually don't know if it's that common, but it does happen. For you to ship the shoes out, buyer gets them, and they file a claim that says shoes are fake or you shipped out a completely different shoe. And in reality, that's not the case. You know you shipped out the right shoe. But what they do is they swap out the shoe that you sent them with a fake one, and then basically you have no way to prove that you did not send them a fake shoe because you have no documentation of you putting those shoes in the box and making sure everything was good. So what I would recommend is just taking like a 2-second video, you showing the shoes, what they are, and then putting them inside the box. Because sometimes that's all you need to win that claim. But if you don't have anything, there's nothing you can back yourself up with, and most likely all these platforms favor the buyer 9 times out of 10. Even if you do have the documentation, there's a chance that you won't win still, but that's just one of the harsh realities of it. It's just, you gotta charge to the game, honestly. There's not much you can do. It honestly probably will happen at least once in your selling career. So yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ways to get scammed, and there's just not many ways to prevent it. Also, another thing common for newer people to do is they try to manipulate you by saying, you know, you don't have that many people that buy from you, so send the shoes out first and then I'll pay you when they get here. Or like ship the shoes first and then I'll pay you. Do not do that. Until the money hits your bank account and you physically see the money in your bank account, not in pending. You need to see that money in your bank account before you ship those shoes, or your Cash App or whatever. Make sure that money does not say pending. Make sure the money is in your account. Sometimes, I know I have had this for PayPal before a few times, where it'll take a few days to tell them, hey bro, like it's tough, but I can't ship your shoes out until this money says it's clear. I'm just not trying to take any risk. And if they're not willing to wait, send them their money back. You don't need that money that bad. I cannot stress this enough to have the money before you ship the shoes out. But with some people that buy from you, like sneaker pages like myself and a few other ones, just because we have everything to lose, I actually every time I buy on Instagram or whatever, I'll ask if you're cool with me getting the shoes first, and then once I check them over, then I'll send you the money. Because again, I have everything to lose, you don't have as much to lose. Because that comes with showing your face and being a public figure. That's one exception. But if they're not a trusted person, they're not showing their face, they don't have anything to lose, don't send them shoes without sending payment first. I think that's gonna be wrapping up this video. If you think I missed anything or you wanted me to touch on other topics, if there's enough comments, I'll maybe make a part 2 to this on stuff I might have missed. If I did, drop a comment down below. I'll try to get back to your comment and leave a detailed response. But yeah, I wrote down 6 points just to go over one more time, just so you guys can really just instill these into your noggin. Number 1, meet up in a public area with eyes or a safe space like a Walmart or something, like police station, Starbucks, bank, somewhere where there's cameras, where there's people, where there's eyes. Next thing, I actually don't think I touched on this when you're selling. When you're meeting up with people to sell your shoes, never hand them both shoes at the same time. They could run off. Not saying they will, but they could just run off and dip on them, like they would be gone. If they have their car running and they ask you, can I check out the shoes real quick? Hand them one shoe at a time. And if they're stupid enough to run off with one shoe, I mean, that sucks, but like, why? But your chances of running off with one shoe are way less than handing them both shoes at the same time. Also, don't give them both shoes until you have the money. Do like a nice little exchange where you're grabbing the money and like you're handing the shoes over at the same time. Also, learn how to check money. I know you don't really think about making fake money, but people will get you with fake money, especially small bills, because you wouldn't even think about it. Like, who's checking a 5? Learn how to check your 20s, your 100s. Just give them a little quick glance in the light. I'm sure there's videos on YouTube on how to check money. If you really want to step up your game, get a counterfeit pen. I'm sure you can get them for pretty cheap. I think they have them at Walmart or Amazon. If you see multiple people doing a meetup and there's like 3 people, don't do it. It's not worth it. They'll just gang up on you, beat the shit out of you, take your shoes, and dip. So don't do that, and don't meet up at night, ever. It's not worth it, unless you really know the person. So yeah, hopefully this video was somewhat useful. If it was, I would really appreciate a like. Maybe consider subscribing. I don't know, it's up to you, honestly. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to touch up on any more subjects or you have questions, feel free to shoot me a DM, or not a DM, what are those things, a comment down below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it'll be right there. I also have an eBay store where you can check out my collection of shoes that are for sale. Yeah, that'll be first link in the description. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I said, baby, like, whoa, I cannot feel any more. Stuck to these beds like I need me some more, yeah. I have been rolling a doja, everything feeling so close. Think that I need me some closure. She tryna pull up to shows, nigga, I'm counting this dough. Hold before, yeah.